Rugby League Challenge Cup in 1949 against Featherstone Rovers, who last won it in 1967. Naturally, the teams are on, declared are on a big money to win this, but it's Rugby League's greatest moment. All the players I've talked to in the past, talking whether they should play in Sydney as the big occasion, but this is the occasion. Johnny Jackson walking out with John Newlove behind him. John Newlove with the ball, and Featherstone Rovers. John Jackson, who has done such a lot for the Featherstone Rovers club. So on the left is Bradford Northern. We're looking at John Newlove on the right. The chairman of Bradford Northern, Harry Womersley, member of the Rugby League Council, and behind him is Eddie Tees, the man who cried so much the last time he was here. He said he wouldn't come again until they were sure to win. Well, he's making use of the tunnel. Behind him is Dave Rexford, who you saw scoring that very good try. Mike Lamb, who played for Cambridge at Rugby Union. Dave Stockwell, and on the right, Cyril Cullet breathing in behind Captain John Newlove. Cyril Cullet played here for Hulkingston Rovers, and he had 2 chances at goal, he said. Albert Ferner coming up in the middle with a bottle of something to keep him warm, to keep somebody warm. And Cyril Cullet jumping around there when he came on the right, and he came from Hulkingston Rovers. He cost Coppers about £350 or something like that, and they only had 2 shots at goal, but they won the cup. Bradford, no real signs of nervousness. Bernard Watson just way behind, coming just to our left in the moustache is a lad who been here with Leeds. There he is. Mike Blacker just popping up behind. You'll be introduced to all these players, no doubt. Wide off, and the referee is Mr. Norton. John Jackson, member of Rugby League Council, himself a pit worker, an executive position for many years, a lifelong Featherstonian. Mel Mason, Paul Coventry with the air, and Cyril Cullet talking outside of his mouth so they don't hear him up to the side. Little Stevie Nash there. Now that's the man just to the right there. That's the man who's going to be in this picture a lot today. World Cup player. Now lives in York. But here they come. And I'll let you just hear the great roar that once they come out, they're still in the tunnel. So you're seeing what the crowd are not seeing. But they are now. And here they come. Who it was said couldn't appear. Been a lot of stories about how slop the little lad was, but he's there. Of course, taking a repeat of what little Gary Ashcroft did when Lee were here with his dad. The ground in perfect condition, a perfect day for rugby league football. Northern Fast and Bradford on the right, and the ball's got to travel 10 yards. The referee, Mr. Norton, waiting for the 3 o'clock. I can see him just moving around deliberately just to let the seconds go by so that he kicks off to time. And we've actually a couple of minutes to go. They were raring to go. They must have been getting out a little quick, but referee still not quite sure, but still again. But there it is, and up we go with Bradford Northern on the right kicking off. 1973 Wembley final. Well, Mason, and the referee's going to have a word with Kello very quickly on, I think. Yes, Kello. And this fellow McNaughton will stand no nonsense, come from Widnes. Did a lot of coaching with universities, the Liverpool University Rugby League team. Well, the first penalty to Featherstone, and Stevie Nash going to direct the operation with Farah telling him what he's got to do. Working the move. Well, which is stopped. Allen Road, halfway line. Featherstone on the left on it. That came off nicely with a nice kick through, but Eddie T is keeping it in play. Eddie T is the captain, goal kicker, 156 goals this season, and he can do that all right, and he did it. Now, did he? He said he didn't play it. He said he didn't touch it. It would have been a knock at that, and the referee said he didn't play it. He can play it forward, he can play it any way he wants, but he didn't, according to the referee, he didn't play it. So Cyril Kellett, 131 goals, he's going to kick a goal, and this could be a start to break the nerves immediately. Certainly, that was quite a controversial one to begin with. His stroke, but any whistling or anything like that won't in any way worry this fellow. 131 goals this season, came from Kingston Rovers, where he had a very good career, and of course played here for the men a final. Kellett of Featherstone to kick, no score. It's a goal! 2 minutes gone. Bradford Northern 0, Featherstone 3. There it is. Alphabetically, Bradford Northern first. 2-0 for Featherstone Rovers. Jimmy Thompson. Charlie Stone. Farah. The referee is getting on the job very quickly over another caution for a high tackle, this time on Brian Hogan. So that's the second penalty that Featherstone have had for a high tackle. Started very quickly to show the boss with the 3 penalties. And no doubt Eddie Teed would dispute the right of the one against him. Jimmy Thompson. Les Stonks. Farah number 10 behind him. Little Nash. Bridges, Mike Smith. He's a grafter, is Mike Smith. Really goes in at everything. Still Featherstone leading by 2 points to 0, and in an attacking position for any sort of move they want to try to make. Using the big-headed forwards for making progress. Somebody going there for a drop. Nash is a bit of an artist to drop in. Charlie Stone ducked under. The dummy half, number 10, is Farah, Vince Farah. He's going to have a drop. Done quite a bit of dropping as Nash this season, dropped goals. A chance for Graham Joyce to bring pressure away, because Bradford have been under pressure, and there's nobody on this side. He's got to move it forward and get up in the Featherstone half, because the backs of Bradford are probably faster than those of Featherstone, and this is what they're going to do. Steve must have read my thoughts, or my words, because that was the pattern to get up into the Featherstone half and see how the scrums will be doing. Bridges and Dunn are the 2 hookers. Dunn used to play for Hunslet, but that's Cyril Callett, who kicked the only point so far, penalty goal. And this is the first scrum of the match. We've got 3 penalties. And it's a penalty for Peter, and it's Eddie Tees wiping his boot on the back of his stocking. To the crowd for something there, but I don't know what it was. Well, that's the big lads of Featherstone. Well, he's going to change his... He wants to change his jersey. Well, that's the fashion. It isn't often you get full backs with shoulder pads on. See what, I don't, probably no number on it. What's on the word list? No number. So you're no man with no number on the Bradford side. And the red, amber and black band is Eddie T, the captain. He's kicked 156 goals, and he played here when Featherstone going to kick a goal. Well, I think it was pretty obvious that's what he was going to do, but nobody seemed to be telling the test judges to go round, waiting for instruction. He played in 1967 for Barrow, and he's getting the same treatment from the crowd. 2 points to 0 for Featherstone. Eddie T. He hooks them, but he doesn't hook back into the post. There's no goal, and there's a chance for Paul Comrie to run away. Dave Bradford took him out, so there's no change to the score line, which is Bradford Northern 0, Featherstone Rovers 2. 25-yard line, just to the left. Oh, well taken, Jimmy Thompson. How he got that out of the pack, don't suppose anybody else will ever know. Rhodes. Featherstone have got quite a number of runners in their team, in the forwards that is. Bridges well out for Coventry. Bradford having to dive in to try to get possession, which they're not somehow getting. Farrell. Vince Farrell also hooker, loose forward, played all over the shop in the forwards. Well, made some good football with this boy. Quite new. Smith. Can he get in the clear? He's got some support. Jimmy Thompson always in support. Nash. It's a little fella to keep your eyes on. He plays up with his forwards. Tonks. Rhodes. 6 tackle coming up. Is anybody going back for a drop goal? He's gone the wrong way anyway for it. Rhodes certainly inside. Did it for a try? In for a try, John Newlove. Well, what a remarkable try, and it seemed to be so easy. Well, let's have a look at it. Rhodes did a good job here, turned it back inside to John Newlove, who went with amazing clearness of the whole situation made by Rhodes to make it 5 points to 0 for Featherstone. Well, this is quite a start for them, regarded as the favourites. Well, that was a joyous moment for skipper John Newlove. Still Callett taking the shot at goal, which should be just a matter of putting it between the sticks. But you never know. I've seen great kickers miss them from this position. He's had one success. Second attempt. Callett kicking. 35 years old. Cyril Callett. Ready to die. So 7 points, 2-0 for Featherstone Rovers. So that's a bright start for Rovers after 10 minutes to take a lead of 7 points to nil. Well, Bradford Northern, who had a very good cup run, and there never any more than 8 points scored in any of their cup matches. In fact, altogether they'd only 26 points scored in the 4 matches to get to this final. So it wasn't with tackling like that led John knew of it. Mal Mason. And the sun shining brightly here, with now a very confident Featherstone, raring to move in every way they can. Smith inside Farah, now he's stand firmly, did a good recovery job there. Graham Joyce. Barry Seaborn. Can't get his pass in. Bill Pattison. Brian Hogan, one of the Lancashire imports. Bradford have signed that they've paid a lot more money for their team than Featherstone. Firmly. There's a chance. Oh. But Mike Lamb lost it. And it's a clear 6 tackles to go now with Featherstone in possession. 25-yard line. Barra. 10 points to nil of Featherstone Road in the dark shorts. He showed it nicely. Again goes Rhodes, and he did earlier for Newell. Pulled back off and still going. Jimmy Thompson following up. And Featherstone still getting the ball, even when Bradford should be really having it. Another 6 tackles to go. The line's open for somebody. Nobody could take the chance of it. There was a great big gap on this side. John Newell. Stone. Anybody going back for drop kicks? Nash is quite well back, but 18.5 stone of Tonks having problems with the big fellas. Working moves like mad. Scoring like mad. Vince Farah. Well, Stevie Nash really worked away, and Vince Farah really pushed it over. There he is. Very smiled. just a little one. Stevie Nash, number 7. See how they're working the move. The 3 or 4 players standing up, and look what a long way that Farah went. And over he goes. And Stevie Nash very delighted. 10 points to nil for a chance for Cyril Kellett to add the goal points. And Bradford looking a little bit dejected. Cyril Kellett kick in. 3rd kick. Kellett takes his time, kicks the goal, and 12 points to nil for Featherstone. Eric Ashton at this point, good.
Well, Eddie, if Bradford are going to take any chance to win this game, they must stop these second row forwards, Rhodes and Thompson, because it's them who's doing the damage. They've broke 3 times, they're giving them far too much room. If they don't tie these 2 up, then they've not much chance of winning this game.
Thank you, Eric. And the larger number of supporters who have come from Bradford, with 15 minutes gone, must be now wondering what they've got to do to start to stop, as Eric says, these really strong forward. I mentioned earlier about how the forwards run off the half-backs all the time, and they do, Stevie Nash and his 6 forwards. Well, the dummy that was me didn't come off. Featherstone Rovers sitting very happy at this moment, I'm quite sure. Oh, they still managed to get away. 12 points to 0. Almost a point a minute. Knocked out. Lost the ball. Chance for Bradford. Gallo running across the field. Peter Dunn. So we've not seen anything yet of the Bradford ability in their backs with Seaborn at the moment just ready to let the ball go, but constantly losing it. Oh, well done there. Cyril Kelly, just 3-2 for time to recover. Well, that's one way, but it won't let go of the ball. Well, Mason. Stevie Nash. Only 5'5" of him, but a very good scrum half, Farah, Jimmy Thompson. Thompson had a great tour in Australia. Smith going to chase it, and it is. Got to be got his bouncing right. McLam. Bradford Northern so far seem to be in a real grip of the Featherstone team, and obviously knocking a bit of confidence out of them as the points come up. Thompson is also a rare old tackler. Oh, it's a wild one, but Mike Blacker, midway between the halfway line and the 25 line, Bradford in the light jerseys. And left it, and Stevie Nash got it. Paul Coventry. Sam Fernley is recovering from a bit of a knock and is still down, but he's up. And comes the Bradford physio, Ron Barrett. Sam Fernley, son of the Northern general manager. What his thoughts will be, or what his thoughts will be, I don't know, but it'll be like father, like son. They can't be very happy at 12 points to 0. But a long way to go. A lot of things likely to happen. Stone. Yards, and it's taking a lot of energy out of Bradford to keep pushing them back. Well, let alone stop them. Oh, that was a good one. Is it all right, says the referee. He's ducked under, is Mike Smith. The line is open, Rhodes. Jimmy Thompson. 10 yards out. This is where Featherstone like to be, to work moves, go on their own. It's an out! John Neal with the greatest of these from Bridges, the captain of the team. What a game he's having with quick tries like that. See how it comes off, these forwards are laying it on. Stevie Nash is throwing it around and then turning inside, supporting everything, and nobody to touch him, and it just puts the ball down with tremendous ease. $15 points to 0, with Newell getting 2 tries, Pellet 3 goals. And this is another what would be an easy one, but well, I'm saying valuable 2 points. Way standing out to be, all goals 2 points are valuable, but just thinking of it, Bradford have rarely been much out of their own half. When they haven't lasted very long. So 3 from 3 so far for Cyril Kellett. He just stands straight and then walks slowly, boots the ball in between and makes it 17 points to Featherstone Rovers. We've got a sub on the far side. Arnie Long on is probably coming on for, I don't know, probably Cal Earl. Anyway, Arnie Long's on and Cal Earl is going off. Arnie Long. So 15 Arnie Long for number 10 Kelvin Earl. It wouldn't be surprised me that they don't bring David Treasure on into the backs. Trevor was the man who scored those 2 very good tries that you probably saw on our cup final preview. He's kicking off. Thompson. What a confident lot these Featherstone boys are. Oh, wide open, Mal Mason. Eddie Teaser shaping him up. Dave Stockwell came across. Real teamwork stuff. Stone. Farrell. Newell. Smith's having a good match. It's a knock on, says referee Norton. Oh, interesting thing, we've got so few scrums, which isn't only a couple, and it's a penalty for Bradford Northern. Can't do that. Then Mr. Norton. He was involved in the most interesting incident in the World Cup in France, when the test judge overruled his decision, or tried to, and the test judge walked off. But Mr. Norton stood his ground, and eventually peace was restored, but it needed a lot of courage. He was the only, one of the 2 Englishmen around the place. I was the other. We talked about it in his dressing room at half-time. Northern fans still hoping something's going to burst from them in this first half. Graham Joyce. Peter down the sub. Come on. Bradford now under breath of light from one of their try-scoring backs. Barry Seaborn doesn't seem to be doing an awful lot, but he's coming into the game now. 6 tackle coming up. Gonna have a drop. Well, Bernard Watson had a drop and he missed it. I'm just wondering whether that sort of tactics are quite right with a scoreline of 17 points to 0. It's tries, and certainly the inspiration of a try that Bradford Northern need at the moment. However, I suppose 2 points is better than nothing. That is what Bradford have got so far. Nash. Rugby League again for big ones and little ones, and we've got both on this ground today. "15 minutes left, first half. 17 points to 0 for Featherstone, who still look dangerous every time they get the ball, and indicated by the 2 scrums we've had, the way they're keeping it going. Dave Bradford, the World Cup winger, Number 3, Mike Smith, who went in to help in the second tackle, having a very good match. Bernard Watson, little short kick. Aye, that off the ball. That's something unusual. This is a chance for Blackett to open up. Watson, Bradford. Oh, it's passed to Featherstone player, John Newland. And nobody can say the colours look anything alike. Lestonks, 25-yard line, just inside. And that's unusual for Lestonks to be down and out. They won't let go of the ball. He should have got it in his back. Mr. Williams, the Featherstone physiotherapist, whose father used to be connected, well, still is connected with Featherstone Rovers. Oh, well, that's it. Didn't like the taste either. So we're all right. Up we go. Featherstone in possession. Keeping well on top of these close tackles. That's when any punishment intended to be given could be done without being seen, so he gets well up on it. I would say Bradford are against the wind. Eddie Tees got a job and a half on his hand now, as Tees, the captain and full-back, who said, "I never want to go to Wembley again and lose." Again, 25 yards line. Well, this is a little bit of a sustained effort now by Bradford, who realise they've got to do everything that they're capable of and take chances and do anything to try to get points. Barry Seaborn. And a penalty. Vince Farrow was concerned with it, and it's a straight kick for Tees. He's missed one before. Nobody wants to give him the ball, and the test judges, away they go. Well, it looks pretty easy for Tees, and in case you were arguing amongst yourselves before, when I said it, we've kicked 156 goals this season. He takes 2 paces to the left and then hooks it in, and it's in. Seems to be very hesitant, did the 2 test judges, but it's in, and this is, as they would say in Yorkshire, that Bradford have broken the duck, with Featherstone Rovers leading 17 points to 2. Well, this opening enterprising play of Featherstone has certainly shaken the confidence of Bradford, no doubt the supporters. See whether that goal can now put them back into some frame of mind that what they've got to do is totally impossible. Acting half. He's the sub. If you see number 15 on his jersey, not 15 in the team, just 13. The 2 subs allowed. Dave Stockwell can go once he gets in the clear, if he can get in the clear. And the referee's going to have a word with Alan Rhodes. Yeah, having a word with the half tackle. The French Finch. With 10 minutes left, first half, Bradford Northern 2. You've just seen the goal against Featherstone Rovers, 17 points. And more sun comes out. Bradford North, no doubt, the coach Ian Root, who used to play for Wakefield Trinity, and indeed played here, will be no doubt having to put his thoughts over at half-time to instill some real confidence now into Northern. Number 7, Barry Siebel. And the trip against the hooker Bridges. So Bradford Northern have had 5 penalties to Featherstone Rovers 3. And obviously Eddie Tees is going to take a shot at goal. Well, let's have a look at this from behind. And see, he's on our left, 25-yard line. Turf is beneath us. Takes his 2-step. He comes round. And the flags are up fair and square. So 31 minutes with Eddie Tees, who had a record of scoring in every match and then went out for a couple of matches with injury. The Bradford Northern 4, Featherstone Rovers 17. And this has been the brightest spell of the Northern in this last 2 minutes. But he started where he left off with the ball, but only at the other end. 25-yard line. Phil Pattison, Cumbrian. Usually 2 tacklers going together. Usually Stevie Nash is somewhere. Seaborn. Halfway line, just on our left. There it is. Stockwell. This is a chance for Northern in their more aggressive moments. He let that go for himself. I don't blame him. This is the best for Northern. 6 tackle coming up. Gonna have a drop. That's the second drop of that Bernard Watson. But I don't know. I think Eddie Tees is talking to him about it. Mentioned it was the 6th tackle, and I suppose 2 points there might have been very acceptable. This is amazing, this lack of scrums. I don't think I've seen that. Then the cup final of many matches with still only a couple of straightforward scrums. Watson coming in trying to pinch the ball. Yes. Well, we'll take a nice little carrot. By no means the fastest on this field, but at least strong. Thompson. The bottom man, given the 6 forward, but now they're going to change the 6 forward. Michael played at Cambridge at the university, played for Yorkshire, former rugby union player. Halfway line. Well, Bradford have been in the Featherstone half more than in the last 10 minutes, 5 minutes more than they've been in the whole of this first half from the kick-off, which started dramatically against Northern, and with 5 minutes left, and of course the pace will no doubt begin to tell eventually. Brown just getting a little bit kicked up. See the marks on it. in a lot of tackling, but so few scrums. Almost unbelievable to have a match of this dimension with only the third scrum coming up. Nash and Seaborn. Tease. Good play there by Watson, clever stuff. Bradford beginning to show the sort of football that got them through to this final. Seaborn taking the dummy half position. 25-yard line, 6 tackle coming up. Eddie Tease is going to have a... Well, he didn't have an up and under, but it was something and nothing. Wow. 21 tries this season, and a good run. See how long it was since I said a 6 tackle coming up, and here it is after all this time, so few scrums. The front three of somebody's head flush then, 25-yard line. Bernard Watson. Mike Blacker. Bill Patterson. Good backing up by Barry Seaborn there. Took it low. Tried before half-time would do an awful lot of good for the morale of Bradford, but not with that sort of leaving the ball behind. Eddie Tease knows to let it go. The Dave Redfern has got 1, 2, 3, 4 fellas round him, and he's wiping it clear. The referee means that there are 6 tackles to go. Well, a couple of knock-ons. In fact, there were probably 3 knock-ons, and so he felt he had to stop it. The police help to get the ball back as the sun continues to shine in this very colourful scene here at Wembley. The world record rugby league takings from the gate of anything well over £100,000 from today's final. Steve Nash. This is a sign, a little bit of tiredness possibly coming in. The forwards at least not packing tightly. Jimmy Thompson picking the ball up out of the scrum is quite unique. About 3 scrums in the last 3 minutes. Yes, less than half a dozen the whole of the match. First half, of course, which we're in, getting close to half-time. In fact, 1 minute as Alan Rowe starts on a run. 2 runs of his have been most effective for Featherstone. Just a change in pattern with loose forward Stone. Taking the dummy half position over, taking Eddie Tease. Got about 1.5 minutes injury time, I would imagine. So Bradford with a couple of minutes possibly, including injury time. We're in right onto it now with the timekeeper. An unusual thing, I suppose, at Wembley now. Some talk about changing it and giving the job back to the referee. So it's 40 minutes gone. Zani Long knocks on. We've now got into the pattern of scrums again after the, well, fully 30 minutes. Very, very few scrums before. the feed, but not in, not satisfied for referee Norton. We've got Bill Patterson requiring attention. Bill Patterson looks like a face injury, forehead possibly. Yes, up at the top there. Bill Patterson, a Cumbrian. A lot of good Cumbrians played in rugby league football for many years. We've got 1 minute of injury time gone, and probably the last penalty. And ADT is looking at the touchline. He might be wondering what to do, whether take a shot at goal. A little bit of needle creeping in there between Farah and Hogan. So even if the klaxon goes, he's going to be allowed to take. He'll be allowed to take the kick a go. Well, he was successful when we saw him behind, so to give him a bit of encouragement, we'll go behind again. And he's just to the right of the post there. It's out of bad and it's a good one. And I think, and that is the hooter going for the half-time here at Wembley in this 1973 Challenge Cup final with Williams from Salford, Joe Humphreys and others who can't get down at least. He's probably just a substitute for you, but here it is with the second half of this Challenge Cup final with the Featherstone Rovers now on the right with their dark shorts, and which will see very soon what the tactics are of Bradford. But tactics are no good if you're going to lose possession. This is a chance for a very, very good break indeed. We've got one player injured, which the break was made very well by Paul Coventry, coming up from the other side of the field with real support and going in for it. Paul Coventry seemed to get a clout on his head. The first half statistics, whilst nothing is happening, well, something is happening, but I mean no play. Scrums to 8, penalties 6-3 for Bradford in the first half. Khalid 4 goals out of 4, Eddie Tees 3 out of 4, and Featherstone's Nash, who had one attempted drop goal, will be in the picture, and so will the forwards. Eric Ashton was saying these forwards of Featherstone smashing into the wide open spaces and making a run in for it whenever they can, and Bradford have really got to now tighten up, not only with stopping them but get the points. They're 17 points to 6 down. Oh, Nash is a good one. Down and up. You can't subdue this little fella. He's looking forward to going to Australia, play against the Aussies when they come here this year, and this will drop on. And incidentally, this match is going to Australia, to ABC in Australia, NBS in New Zealand. We welcome them to this cup final. The next 2 test matches, some players say this is far more important. The test matches which will be seen this year with the Aussies coming to England in October. 25-yard line, Wembley Stadium, sun still out. A lot of work necessary now by Eddie Tees and his men, and I see Tees was up, very sharpish. Brian Hogan. Seaborn, oh. Not going to run. Full-back to full-back. Cyril Kelly knows he won't go very far. Oh, with that sort of play. 2 falls, 1 submission. Charlie Stone. Vince Farrer, dummy half. The dummy half is the man behind the man playing the ball. Oh, there was an opening there. Jimmy Thompson saw it. Well taken by Mike Blackadoo. Well, I've seen wider margins than this one before, and the team with the lowest score pulling back. See whether Bradford can. But everything to play for now, so they might as well go the whole hog and move the ball about. Seaborn ducking under. A try and a goal here would put a completely different pattern to the picture. Passed possibly too soon, but still good supporting work. And the sixth tackle. But the best bit of Bradford in all the parts we've seen so far is the bit that's just gone. They're showing some purpose, and no doubt Ian Brook and Albert Fernley will have some hard words to say. But I wouldn't be surprised if they bring David Treasure on, because he's a fellow that would come up fit, and he can run as fast, and he knows how to score tries given a chance. Bradford possession. Trying to go to them and give them a lot of heart, but they lost possession. They realise they've got to still throw it about. Can't blame them for trying. And a penalty for offside in the second half, which seems to be a very quick 5 minutes gone. With the scoreline, Featherstone Rovers 17, Bradford Northern 6. And Mel Mason kicking. Ah, there is David Treasure limbering up. We'll see if they do or they don't. Bring him on. Steve Nash. Just to mention his name so many times. Such a good footballer. Thompson, a long interception, can he go? Can he run? Arnie Long, who's with him? Peter Dunn, he needed it back. Or a fast running forward. Bradford with a try and a go. It must, what's the referee going to give? They must either give a scrum or a penalty. I thought he might have given a penalty. But the crowd thought at least some section of it. He was rocking himself there to say that they had lost the ball, but I think there was more than a little bit of lost about it. Oh, that was well put in. So well put in that Nash had a penalty given against him. So the Northern fans have not given up the ghost by any means. Neither of the players in the first 5 minutes. So he's going for a goal kick, which mentally would give them a little bit of advantage at any rate. Fifth attempt, 5-3. Eddie T's kicking. Oh, it's not a bad one. Didn't get any length at all to it. So the score still stays. Northern 6, Rovers 17. Well, no wonder he's looking a bit disappointed. He needed that. The team needed that. Alan Rhodes. Bradford not letting Northern get in, getting Featherstone getting into their stride like they did in the first half. They're not as chirpy, but they're quite happy with the lead, 17 points to 6. Malmation on the right, in possession. Blue and white of Featherstone Rovers. Rovers home-produced players. Good grubber. Roll it on the ground. What we call a grubber kick. Another cup final tomorrow. Is still staying in London at Woodside Stadium at Watford, the Southern Amateur Rugby League final. And Bob Wilson, the Arsenal, will be presenting the trophy. Kick off at 2 o'clock. A lot of Southern Amateur Rugby League teams now playing. And they're playing too. Hackney versus Ealing, the team, and the referee explaining what happened in the scrum before it even got down to it. And John Newlove is telling Cyril Kelly to come up for a go, or kick a go. Cyril Kellett, quite a remarkable footballer, never a fast one, but a sound, competent full-back, good goal kicker, hit them when they were needed, and in their whole season of matches, including league, playoff, Yorkshire Cup, young players, etc., etc., Featherstone have scored 939 points against 592, and this is 2 points that will bring one of the biggest cheers if he kicks it. It's a straight and a dive. Exactly 10 minutes gone in the second half, with Cyril Kellett making it into 19 points to 6. And I've often said our match is won and lost at a particular moment. And Eddie Teasers, who's kicking off now, Eddie Teasers' missed goal kick at 17-6 was rather important for Bradford. Keep chucking 2 points on, breaks the spirit. Mike Smith, the one foreigner in the Featherstone team, he comes from Doncaster. The little rover. Vince Farah, halfway line. Alan Rhodes, one of the runners, a second row forward with Jimmy Thompson, and this is what's been the trouble with Bradford in the first half. They couldn't stop these bursts of people like Thompson and people like Farah and Rhodes. So we obviously got to get more scrums than we did in the first half. Apart from anything else, the pace. Can Blacker get his kick in? Stopper. Blacker. Peter Dunn. Oh, good tackle. The breaks are not coming. The break's coming here, but a different sort of a one from Paul Coventry. Time, a knock-on advantage can be made if Bradford can get possession. They do. And he starts again with 6 tackles. That's the reason he's watching the windows. Halfway, 25 yards. The line, halfway line. Bradford possession. Pattison. Logan. All right. And Blackett, he stripped up over a bit of Wembley turf. It was away. Seaborn. This is a chance. Bernard Watson, Bradford now trying to fight back in this Challenge Cup final, but losing glorious chances with a dropping of the ball. In this case, Stone making the yardage after a lot of aggressive work by Bradford, but the finishing is not good. And Bradford fans still feel they're in with this game if they could get a quick try and a goal. Bill Kelly from the full-back position. He did it quite a lot actually, not to stay at home full-back. Barrow. Play on advantage. And it again. Well, Patterson was up about there on Nash. Getting his pass in. Well, at least both teams are not giving the ball plenty of air for the entertainment value. Inside to Newland. Stone still got it. Patterson still moving with it. Ball still running, and very good cover. Everybody's in at it. Now the pace is still pretty hot. Still going strong, both sides. Brian Hogan, away clear, who's he got with him? He's only got a hooker with him, he's got to go on his own. Peter Dunn did well to get up. The forward pass. They're looking for a back to support him. Mel Mason. Looks like an upside number 9. But Mel Mason, who's that? There he is. And on comes David Treasure. On comes David Treasure. There he is. Now, see who he's coming on for. It could be Blacker. It walked past Seaborn. It is Blacker. Now see whether he can inject into this game what he did into the semi-final when he got 2 very good tries for Bradford against Dewsbury. Ball possession going to count up now in the side scrums. Halfway line, on the left. Well, he's got to give up Frexton. It was Jimmy Thompson there. He's only 24 years of age. I know probably looks a bit older, but he's a very good football, and he's certainly a bit of scientific obstruction. Bradford to get in the penalty is 8-3 at the moment, but the scrum, and slightly, the scrum's 5-3. We'll see whether this stand-up half has come on, David Treasure. See in any chance for wide open space, whether he can produce a sensational finish for Bradford. They're certainly playing better, and they're certainly coming in. They're not finishing, but something must accrue eventually. Well, he went too many times, did Seaborn there. He did about 5 dummies. Peter Dunn. Burnley. Featherstone could just be tiring a little bit. Hogan. 10 yards away, 10 yards from the try line. There it is, you can see the try line. Eddie tees up, a long one. Don't know, I'm not quite sure what to do. Graham Joyce was... He can get his pass in, it must be in, it must be in. Get near the post, Dave Redfern. Well, they messed about a lot, but they got back into it, and 19 points to 9. Look at it again. You see, it nearly closed the shop here, and the Chiefs came into it well, and then Bradford went as far as he could before being pushed out, but he got the ball down. So Eddie Tease's goal kicking is going to be rather important again. 19-11 would mean 2 tries and 2 goals to score, only would put them in front. His goal kicking has not been his best, but he's no goal. Well, Bradford Northern 9, Featherstone Rovers 19. 2 tries, 2 goals, 3 points for a try, 2 points for a goal. And this is the Eddie Tease, the captain, who is obviously not happy with his game today. Not a purist in the sense of goal kicking, but then what is a purist if you kick 156 goals? Turn around and say, well, I kick them, but he didn't today. Again, Bradford, the time, Featherstone have still got, of course, a lot of stuff to come from their roving forwards and Nash and Mason. Hogan, who has been making the breaks in the last 2 minutes most effectively. Halfway line. They were Watson was trying to get them to take a dummy, but the Featherstone players rarely take dummies. Well out, ball back. 20 minutes gone, 22 go. 40 minutes is the duration, and Bradford Northern 9, Featherstone Rovers 19. With Featherstone as big less stonks, probably beginning to show the pace of this, because it was a heck of a pace in the first half. Ball. Graham Joyce. Knock on Seaborn. Obviously this beautiful sunny day, it's lovely for the spectators and that, but I'm sure some of the players, those spectators are liking it, but whether some of the players are now, it's got to be a question of fitness stalling in this last 20 minutes. And Barry Hollis is lumbering up for Featherstone. Could be Alan Rhodes to come. Stone to Mason, Nash to Mike Smith. You can tell with the 1 or 2 players where they're getting rid of the ball very quickly. It's been a killing pace, actually. Unless Tonks has got to do it in short, sharp bursts. Tackled by Stan Fernley, who's doing a lot of tackling, actually. Rhodes, Mason got his Smith in with him, and Smith still running. Smith still going in and out. Hey, what a try! What a try! There it comes again. And look how many times he was burst Mason first of all before he got it to Smith. Look how many times the door was closed on him, and yet he still went back in for trouble. Ducked under a couple. Probably shouldn't have scored, but he did. This fella's had a very, very good game as Mike Smith. Joyous moment for him. He's really had a tremendous game as Smith. It will be very hard to decide who got the player of the match award. But as Cyril Kellett kicks, we take it from behind the post. The score at the moment 22 points to 9 for Featherstone, who kept coming back at the right moment. Those sort of things are really killers for a team, and a fellow can score a try like that, but it was very well scored. 5 out of 5. Kellett kicking as you look on him, and no doubt about that. As the joyous Featherstone fans welcome the goal to make the score 24 points to 9. There it is, and we've got sub coming on Hollis, and Alan Rhodes, I think, is the man that's gone off, and he went off. Did Rhodes whilst the goal was being taken. I was looking around for him. This is the sub, Barry Hollis. Thompson. Hollis rather getting the touch of the ball to begin with, warming him up quickly. As they say, throwing him in the deep end. Little Nashi. And that's a hooker. Oh, well, that's a bit of a rare old run for Keith Bridges. 15 minutes left for play in this 1973 Challenge Cup final. 24 points to 9, Featherstone Rovers. Third time has been to Wembley, and it picks the ball. Graham Joyce. Arnie Long, with or without part of his jersey, doesn't right matter. Well, they say that the whole of Featherstone would be here today. Well, that's not quite true, but at least there's about 10,000 of them. And those at home will no doubt be getting ready to cheer. But there's still a little while to go before they can do that. Ball lost. Advantage taken, and there's the blue and whites of Featherstone against the red, amber and black Bradford Northern. Now looking again, Hogan has had quite a good match, and a penalty to Northern. Well, it's no good kicking it. Well, I wouldn't think it was any good kicking it goal. Not in the mood that Eddie Tease is in. Well, that's the right position to play it for. And now comes there's the kick out, a good kick. Now comes the next tap, and the defending side have got to be 10 yards away. So that takes them onto the line. Don't have to go any further, but they have to be on the line or over it. Somebody's creeping up, using one of the big forwards long. Somebody got the fingers wrapped then. Patterson, and still in this position where so many times Bradford have not been able to finish, except on one occasion. Dave Treasure, he likes the long running bit. Oh, run straight and barge in if he can get it in, it must be. Sam Burnley. Bernard Watson made it. Sam Burnley scored it. 24 to 12. And we'll see this. Look, you know, the thing to do was to really go. Featherstone knew that, but he did well to get the ball away. Well, Eddie Tease taking the shot. not his happiest of day with his hook shots. But he gets 2 points. So no doubt the Bradford Northern fans will be saying, well, if they'd only done that, if he'd only done a score, what I said now, we've still got 24 points to 9 on the scoreboard, but it's 24 to 14. We're right. The timekeeper is beginning to work now. 24 points to 14. Two tries and 2 goals, which we've seen many a time on television. Although not at Wembley, but probably that sometime. Lost the ball. This has been Bradford's weakness, losing the ball at vital moments, and with a fellow like Bridget, a hooker who loves to run around the place. A big heavy 18.5 stone of Les Tonks. Anybody going back for a drop? Going to work a move. And Vince Farrer. Oh, it's in. But it's a forward pass. It's a forward pass. Oh, no try. Well, let's have a look at it. But the referee was right. Look at it coming up. It was all over by the shout. But he was right. It was a forward pass to Hollis. Barry Hollis would have loved to have been able to say I scored at Wembley. The referee was right. So 10 minutes left. Bradford North 14, Featherstone Rovers 24. Featherstone getting possession. And it's amazing how they keep coming from the within the pack almost to get the run in. Extra man. John Newlove went down there to a good tackle by Watson. Stevie Nash. Featherstone now coming with another breath of encouragement and second wind. Probably the third, mind you. And the pace now in the last 10 minutes is similar to what it was in the first minute. Thompson giving somebody a dirty look. He's going to have a drop. And he loves to drop this little Stevie Nash. He's done quite a lot of drop kicks this season. He got into the right position for it, able to go back 3 steps and bowled it over nearly to the height of the post. Altogether he's kicked 16 goals, Steve Nash. The man the Australians will be up against this year and next year in the tour to Australia. Impressed the Aussies in the World Cup, which Great Britain won. Graham Joyce. Peter down. This is Watson. Now just looking around for where pressure. He was up in support, but he couldn't get in the clear because with his freshness of having just come on, he could find the opening which is so badly needed in this last section of this game. Watson, Pattison, and his 6th tackle coming up as Pattinson goes down, 25-yard line, and up and under. It could bounce right over, which it does, so it's a restart on the 25-yard line with a tap. The idea was all right, but it went too far. I was saying earlier that Bradford had only had 26 points scored against them in all their 4 previous rounds, but that is exactly the same number today, 26, this time by Featherstone Rovers. Thompson. Carter. And still he goes on. Ball taken. Ken Kelly, can he run? Ken Kellyton still running. And this cup final is finishing on a high note so far as the football's concerned. He's limping, he hurt himself. Funnily, well, not funnily, but Mike Smith hurt himself. Seemed to catch his knee, but he got his pass in. Nash taking it wide. It's play on. There's no try. The Rovers want more, but it was no try. Dave Hartley's on there, reporting. And Paul Combs is going off. No, Mike Smith's going off with that knee. We're talking to Paul Combs. So Mike Smith was there, and Peter Fox, the coach, giving him a very good pat on the back, and rightly so. He's been one of the Featherstone stars without any doubt. So Dave Hartley on for the last 2 minutes of this match. Eddie Tees. Last 5 minutes, in fact. Dave Bradford. One way to go, but he could do it. Oh, and some fellows in front of him. Peter Dunn. And not a lot of support, but he got on his own with the sixth tackle coming up. He's had a bit of punishment today. Stand firmly. He'll know he's been playing. Dave Stockwell. Mike Lamb. And the sixth tackle, Dave Hartley will simply go in at right centre instead of Mike Smith. Well, there's some tired fellows there. This has been a hard, grueling cup final in many ways, both the pace of it and a lot of hard tackling, a lot of running. And not the least being this little fellow. All right. The referee not standing for all that, and Dave Treasure was involved, and the rugby league referees have to indicate, or do indicate, what the decisions are all about. And there's certainly a few tired fellows in this stadium. Tim Nash. Bill Kelly. Vince Farah. Les Toms. Vince Farah. Thompson going up in support, still working the move, and Dave Hartley pressures anything having just come on, will be the man to work on. It's a try, all right. There's a lot of Dave Hartley's got it. A lot of complaints from Bradford on this. Let's have a look at it. What did the Bradford to complain about? Did he play it? Well, that will be, no doubt it was Dave Hartley, but the Bradford players were really very troubled and incensed about that. They felt that he didn't play it, and no doubt will remember that in the first minute of this match, a goal was kicked, after Eddie Tees had been penalised for just that, or similar anyway. Well, last night, Cyril Kellett prophesied that he wouldn't miss a goal kick at Wembley in this match. Well, so far he's kicked every goal, 6 out of 6, and chance for his 7th. And whilst all that was happening, 1 or 2 things on the touchline, but it's coming on for Fernley, for Bradford. (29-14). Kellett kicking. And his 100% record to take Featherstone Rovers into 31, Bradford into 14. So nobody can grumble about the amount of points in this. 45 points in this very, very open match, and the power of the Featherstone forward, particularly in the early stages, has proved to be so important. And then they come back again with their subs being used well. Getting there to one of the last scrums of this match with 40 minutes gone. A couple of minutes, we think, injury time. But I said so often this season, well, it's up to someone else to keep track of the injury time. Championship final, it's Leeds against Dewsbury, incidentally. Barry Hollis for Featherstone. He's fresh too. Subs have been used very well indeed and become most effective. And the penalty against Eddie Tees, who's taken it. I'm quite sure he won't do what he did last time when he cried so bitterly because he had lost playing for Barrow against Featherstone, but I'm sure it'll be most disappointment. Now this is the hard one for Kellett. It's 25, 35, 45 yards. The highest score since 1960, and Jimmy Thompson is hitting a rub down from one of his colleagues, obviously got a bit of cramp. Kellett kicking against the wind. It's a long one. It's a goal! (33 points to Featherstone, 14 points to Bradford. Well, that shows the competence of Kellett. And when I said in our preview that it could be decided with the goal kicking of the 2 full-backs, I think that's right. And on comes the reserves and everybody now with the klaxon, the hooter having gone, and Featherstone Rovers taking the Rugby League Challenge Cup, 33 points to 14. So just before we take you on, Eric Ash. John Mueller, the first up, and what a joyous moment for him as the Earl Mountbatten of Burma congratulates him with the red, amber and black colours, and he gives it a little kiss. Johnny Jackson looks on, the chairman on the left, and he showed it for all of you. And Steve Nash, vice-captain, got the flint. Mel Mason, Paul Coventry, Mike Smith, quite fit again. Oh, he's got the scarf on already. It's Vince Farr, he's got dress. Hollis the sub. Alan Rhodes, Hooker, Bridges, Stone, and that's Big Tonks, and there's Jimmy Thompson. What a worker he's been today. Dave Hartley got a controversial try, and Cullet, the successful marksman, so useful and important today. And a disappointed Eddie Tees, but he's going to give a smile, and he gets his medal. This is over there, a little bit of a hard life moment for them. Watson and Dunn, followed by Burnley, Barry Seaborn, Pattison, Earl, Treasure, who came on as sub, Blacker, Dave Redfern and Dave Stockwell, Graham Joyce. Brian Hogan had a good match, and Arnie Long. And the referee who showed at the beginning, he was standing no nonsense. There'd probably be a lot of argument about a beginning and ending penalty, whether the ball was played properly, the one when the try was scored near the end. This is the highest number of points in the final.